Good idea. It's the Morning Joe to your Morning Joe. It's the blue collar to your blue collar. It's the lab coat to your scientists. Speaking of scientists, y'all want to learn something today? Oops, all intros.
Jeff, you tried. It didn't work.
George's joke was really good. I can't believe we didn't laugh at it.
I don't think it was that good.
Oops, it wasn't all that funny. Intros. That's hilarious. Damn. That's like now you got music, but oops, all intros.
I mean, I think it's just a reference to a type of cereal, is what I think.
Well, you don't have to expose the magic. I mean, this is like you're like the masked illusionist or whatever that guy's called. He tells you how to do tricks.
The masked illusionist who tells you how to do tricks. I'm not 100% sure. Are you talking about Job from Arrested Development? Are you talking about Job from Arrested Development? I'm not trying to ruin the magic, Jeff. I'm just saying Oops All Intros is a reference, and it's not really a joke. It's like a half joke.
Wait, was it always Oops? Was it always Oops All Intros?
Because I feel like that's a twist. Is a type of cereal.
And he put a twist on it.
It's a small twist. Yeah, but the type of cereal was completely irrelevant to the thing that we were doing. So it wasn't like it was a half joke. It was a half idea. That's called.
Now I have to explain George's joke for that.
It's not a bad thing. No. Hold on. You don't have to explain anything to me. I fucking get it. Let me explain it to you. I'm a comedy theorist. Let me explain it to you. Okay? It's a half idea. This isn't my thing. This is just like it's called a half idea. I have a bit about comedy ideas. I would also call this a comedy idea, which is something that's like it's kind of funny. Not like it's like the idea that the disease mono, the disease of mono is pretty funny. It's just like the concept of someone who has mono. That's pretty funny when someone gets mono. And no one really agrees with me, I don't think, but I would call that a half idea or a comedy idea or whatever. But a half idea in the UCB book, Jeff, you read the UCB book. I did. Not a full premise. It's something. It's part of a premise. It's not bad. It wasn't a premise at all.
It was a goof, but it was just a temporary goof. George is really good at your temporary goof.
Yeah. Well, George is good at all kinds. George is good at a temporary goof. George is really good at landing a line towards the end of a comedic piece that ties it all together, which is a very, very challenging thing to do and requires a lot of listening and patience. It's like there's lots. I'm not saying George isn't funny. I'm saying Oops All Intros wasn't that funny. That's all I'm saying. This is an introduction. This is an introduction, my friends. That is a good idea. Good idea is a brain trust your brain can trust. It is also a comedy podcast where we find creative, actionable solutions to your real life problems. I am Aiden Kinsella.
I'm G Daly.
I'm Jeff Richardson.
What up? It's your boy, George Diaz.
And this is Good Idea. Okay.
The cat is loving it, by the way.
I know. He's just screaming.
Is the cat listening to the podcast?
I don't know. I think he's hungry.
Tiny little headphones for cats.
I know. Oh my God, I should get him headphones.
Tiny little cat headphones.
A cat cast.
Yeah, a cat cast.
Cat cast for
maybe this whole time we've thought cats are assholes. Turns out they just can't hear very well.
Oh no, Remus is an asshole.
Didn't even think about it. Remus is an actual asshole. I thought for a second that maybe cats just can't hear very well, and then I was immediately turned around.
Can you say hello? No, not that I'm telling him now.
Come on, Remus. Oh, damn it.
Let's go.
Oh, this is just anticlimactic now. This is just such a roller coaster.
Because all I did is a Mario reference.
No, I'm not going to edit you. Jeff, there's nothing wrong with the Mario reference. My point is, you didn't listen. You didn't listen.
Okay, I just want to say I had a funny idea, which is a half idea shall henceforth be referred to as a half chub.
Why?
I can't do that. I'm against this.
It's like a soft
I'm against
boner.
this.
No.
No.
Canceled.
That idea? Canceled.
Jeff, no.
Dead
we're not
idea.
canceling the idea. We're canceling Jeff as a whole. Just right now.
I would like to apologize.
Jeff, I am
30
sorry.
minutes.
Jeff, I am sorry. There is no other way.
I would like to draw your attention. I accidentally hit my microphone stand, and I'm pretty sure I made a bunch of noise.
Oh, don't draw our attention to it because I can edit that out very easily. Let's keep going. What are we talking about today, you guys? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm kind of on edge, but like I can't fuck around. There's no time to fuck around.
I've been given two very good ideas from Bill.
Oh, you have?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I got to write some stuff down really quick for later in the show. So you guys do those and I'm going to do
This is
that.
like a meeting to set the agenda of a meeting.
So the first idea I got from Bill was world politics is gladiatorial combat.
There's a lot of potential in this idea.
This is something I think about regularly. Yeah, no, for sure.
And we're not just talking regular like hand-to-hand combat. We're not talking like duels at dawn, pistols at dawn. We're talking gladiatorial combat.
Straight
so
up
I'm talking
skirts,
like
short
Bernie
swords,
Sanders
exposed
and Donald
chest.
Trump dressed as gladiators with tigers in the fucking arena. Whoever comes out on top is the next president. Discuss.
I feel bad for Bernie. I feel like he'd be pretty weak in that department.
You think so? I think he's pretty strong.
The only way this works is if it's virtual and their bodies are all have the same strength score. Because honestly, a Trump who's 70-something and on coke all the time, I don't think he can handle Bernie. The fucking Warren will stomp the floor with a Klobuchar. Like, it's just not fair. You got to have equal.
No, it's absolutely fair.
No, but hold on. So
if you
fair
can't
because
fight a
it's
fucking
gladiatorial
tiger,
combat.
Yeah, if you can't fight a fucking tiger, you don't deserve to be the goddamn president.
And you choose, you know what? You choose your own weapon. So like we had our last couple episodes, or we talked about Karate Kwon and the Kid President. Kid President has veto power, right? So and Kid President can focus will blast. So maybe if Kid President has to fight in this, that's Kid President's weapon of choice. Kind of like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, going in with just your element or whatever.
Yes, because he's a karate master. Hold on, because he's a karate master. At 18, his hands have to be registered with the government as a deadly weapon.
Hang on, I've got a question. How do you think fighting a tiger with karate is going to go down?
Lots of dodging.
How big is the tiger?
Tiger-sized.
Does Kung Fu Panda translate to Karate World?
Do you mean
because if so, then we know exactly what fighting a tiger with karate would be like.
I would say yes, only because karate and kung fu are such similar practices. Like most martial arts are very similar practices. So I would say if you can use karate and you've been trained in karate and you're a black belt in karate, you can pick up the other martial arts pretty quickly. Now, don't at me if I'm wrong, listeners, but
or do.
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you
not. Don't. G's right.
I'm pretty sure you can pick up the other martial arts relatively quickly if you learn one.
So yeah, if you learn one, like if I learn how to use a like a pistol really well. That's a martial weapon, right? I've
No.
learned how to master a
Is
pistol,
it?
and then when I go
It's
into,
very
I
different.
think it counts as a martial.
Melee attacks are a lot of angles and circles and stuff. Guns are pretty much point and shoot.
Well, is martial melee? Is martial exclusively melee?
Gosh, no,
I think
you're
so.
right.
I think it's
Can I jump
melee
in?
and melee
This is
weapons.
No, I don't
only.
think it is. I
have a really
think
important
martial
question.
weaponry is.
And it's, well, number one, it was how big is the tiger? Because a tiger that's only a foot tall, martial artists can put him down.
Okay, we're talking like real, like adult tigers.
Like 6 feet at the shoulder, or no, 4 feet at the shoulder.
no,
like long,
they're like
8
4
feet
feet
long.
tall. They're yeah.
Huge. So I
Big old
looked
boy.
in Google, can a martial artist beat a 4 down its tiger? And so while you guys talk, I'm gonna see if a martial artist can beat a tiger.
My dad is a black belt in karate, and he's taught me several different techniques in karate. But I also wholly believe that he is trained in hand-to-hand weaponry. I know that that's something that they train in at I don't know what it's called, whatever his place is.
Karate school.
Yeah, that. So I know he can like fight with. I think he can fight with a staff. Some of his classmates can fight with swords. Some of his classmates can fight with nunchucks.
If you fight with a staff, isn't that like a crew battle though?
A what?
A crew battle.
I don't know what that means.
Well, like you have multiple people with you. You're fighting alongside a staff.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Oh man.
That is how they fight though. They don't fight one-on-one usually. They fight several.
Like I
That's how they spar.
pick up my secretary and I throw them at you and it hurts. That's a, you know what? I've mastered fighting with my staff.
Can y'all hear that? Remus is coming to say
Was there
hello.
a cat?
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, okay, there we go. I feel closure from that.
This
from
is
that
important.
Setup in Act 1.
This is really important. If a cat can totally fuck you up if you try to hold it down, surely a tiger or even a mountain lion could destroy you.
I know our listeners can't see this, but you guys might be able to. Well, I don't know. I've got a scar running up the length of my arm, like from here to here. It was a deep scar. You can tell just by looking.
Pretty
at
big. The listeners could probably see that.
Yeah, it was like an inch wide and like
That's from
a few
it's
centimeters
from
tall,
Remus.
oozing weirdly.
It's from Remus.
Jesus.
Fuck you, Remus.
And he's like 13 pounds. So if he can do that to me and leave that big of a scar on me, I think a tiger can probably murder me.
Totally.
I have a question
Okay,
now.
so if a tiger can murder G and G is a total badass, then a tiger can murder anyone. Karate
Right,
is
obviously.
defenseless against
Correlation
tigers.
is not causation.
Then what about that?
Aiden? A tiger versus a 50-foot tall person who's also a martial artist master. Now we're
I think
getting
that just
into the
ends
area.
with a little
That's
like
a fair point. Okay,
squish
so if
and
there's
stomp.
so people, if they are 50 feet tall,
and a martial
but
artist.
Jeff, that's. I feel like that's begging the question, though. Is like we're assuming people are 50 feet tall at that
hang on.
point. But
hang on. Remus,
I
how do
think
you
you're
know?
right, though. You're right. Like we can't because we can't assume like a human being of 8 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet even could even remotely go head to head in a karate match with a tiger.
No, they're like
But
400 pounds.
If we were
They're-
able,
they have killing machines
no,
on
tigers
each
are
paw.
fucking. The tigers are crazy. If we could get all the way to a 50-foot tall human being,
Science.
then we might be able to go head to head with a tiger in combat.
I do have a question.
Hypothetically, okay.
If we're not 50 feet tall, going back to normal sized humans, what you
That's
guys
boring, but okay.
No, I've got, you guys, for you three, what is your weapon of choice in gladiatorial combat? And I would say that you can ask who you're fighting against and that can help you pick your weapon.
Does it have to be us personally, or can we be like a political candidate?
Well,
in this,
let's do both.
hypothetical. Okay,
Let's
okay,
say-
that's good.
let's
I like
say-
that.
personally, and then we'll
Jeff
use that to
Richardson
inform.
as a political candidate, but you can also choose like a current political candidate.
Well, hold on. Yeah. Let's say we're all current political candidates for the 2020 election.
All right, I'm Elizabeth
and
Warren.
it's going to be just no. Stop. Us as individuals. You can be Elizabeth Warren. That's fine. But
are we also
Us
running
as
for president?
individuals.
And are we also skilled at
we're
a
fighting?
martial
We're
art?
fighting for president. We're
But
fighting.
are we
for
skilled?
president.
Are we fit? Are we good at it?
yes,
in this scenario?
No, it's us. Well,
Oh,
hold
it's
on.
just
hold
us.
on.
Okay,
hold on a
okay.
second.
I would say
For the first round, it's just you, and we are fighting. We're just against any opponent. Just like you, what's your weapon?
Hang on though.
Okay.
Aiden, I've got a question because
Well,
if we are,
I want to do multiple
candidates-
rounds. I want to do multiple rounds.
No.
What's your question?
I'm clarifying one thing. If we are political candidates at the beginning of this fight, the first one, political candidates normally do some sort of quote training before their quote battles on stage. They practice their questions and answers. So of course we would have at least a little bit of training, right?
Okay, then we'll say you get a little time to train.
I got it. This is a new system.
That's
this is a new
valid.
system. It's just starting. So of course we're not.
I still want to do
trained
multiple
martial
rounds of
artists.
this.
We're just us.
That's fair.
Okay, well, in that but even with the we're just us, we're definitely not like fully trained martial artists.
No.
But I think G has a good point. We would have a little time to prepare. Let's say you have a week to prepare. Let's say you have a week to prepare. What's your weapon for the first round of gladiatorial
Spear.
combat as yourself? A spear. Okay.
Machete.
Say more.
Huh?
Oh, are we all just gonna let's all say
George,
our
yeah,
things
we'll
first.
lightning
Okay,
up at the
spear.
top and then we'll drill down. So George, what was yours?
Machete.
Ooh, that's rough. That's a zombie killing machine right there. I'm gonna
Yes.
go. It has to be something heavy enough. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be quick. Scimitar.
A scimitar.
Jesus.
Honestly, probably like a warhammer or something.
That'll get through armor. I like it.
Aiden, how much muscle do you have?
Huh? I honestly,
Not all warhammers are really heavy. You just need a long enough
No,
Not all
lever to
warhammers
pierce,
are-
fair.
pierce a
Yeah,
breastplate.
he can have one that
warhammers are kind of like I want one that's like about as heavy as like a regular ass hammer.
It's just longer.
Maybe a
and,
little
like,
heavier to make
weighted.
just longer. So a little heavier to make up for that, but like something like that is probably what I'm
Okay.
gonna say. I have to pick. That's my thing. I'm picking
Yeah.
that one for this
All right,
for the
so-
purposes of this.
What are we doing now? Are we explaining our choices?
Yes.
Okay, so let me explain my choice. I have incredible grip strength. I can do a lot of things with these hands, as long as
Okay,
they're
then why
as
do you
long
need a
as they're
spear?
clenched.
Then why do you need a spear?
Because I'm not a good puncher. I can do a lot of grip things. So I'm a good wrestler.
Can you
for instance.
loosen a grip really quickly and then like redo it and like move from left to
Yes.
right hand? Okay, that's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm really good at that. Now, the reason I chose a spear is because usually a spear will get ripped out of a fighter's hands unless they have a very strong grip strength.
Okay.
Interesting.
So the good thing about a spear is that its point is triangular. So if it goes all the way into a body, when you rip it back out, it rips the body. So that causes even more damage on the way out than it did on the way. It's like an arrow except big. So it causes more damage on the way out than it did on the way in. So if you twist it, if you pull it, if you yank it, now most humans would know if a spear is in your chest, you turn your body so that the spear person can't get it. That's why the grip strength is important.
How's your footwork?
My footwork.
Ooh, yeah.
Because you really need to shift
right.
your
now,
weight to keep a spear, powerful.
My footwork is very good. I've been a dancer for most of my life. So the reason that I chose a spear is to play to all of my strengths. My hand-eye coordination isn't that great. So if somebody's throwing things at me, I'm going to lose the fight. But
you could zigzag and then get your spear up there.
But with a spear, I don't need a whole lot of hand-eye coordination. I just need both of my hands to work together, and it's mostly about footwork, which I can handle. My hand-eye coordination's really bad. That's a thing that's caused by my autism, I think. Most autistic people, I think, have trouble with coordination and stuff like that. We're not really sporty people, I think. I got lucky in that my foot to eye coordination is a lot better. So that's why I would choose a spear.
Okay. I mean, I think also, like, if your foot eye coordination was that good, you would have chosen a soccer ball as your weapon. As we saw, saw Mario do in Mario Superchargers.
I have a D&D character who plays soccer. Like, she plays soccer for a college team, and she uses her soccer ball as a weapon.
You would.
That's awesome.
That's why I joked about it, is because it seemed like fucking something you would do. Damn it.
Dude, a ball, like a wire mesh ball that can puff out spikes or something? Like some sort of kinetic.
Like the mermaid ball from a couple weeks ago.
George, you're up, man.
Okay, I picked Machete mainly because, well, famous A-list, bottom tier A-list actor Danny Trejo uses a machete.
I love him.
Dude, he's the shit.
He's
Hell
awesome.
Hell yeah.
Also, it seems relatively easy to use compared to the other, like, weapons that you guys have suggested.
Yeah, it's a big old, just thick blade.
It's a long cleaver.
Really trying not to talk about penises right now.
Well, it is a blade, so it's got the penis beat.
I'm sorry. What's holding you back? What's holding you back?
I don't know.
The fucking like 3 people like trying to keep you away from the fight. No, he's gonna kill you. Stay away. It's a machete, for Christ's sake.
The thing about a machete is that they're really good for fighting like trees, but they're not really good for fighting much else.
I'll make it work.
So if you're in Lord of the Rings and like you're up against an Ent, machete will help you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There you go. That's what's happening. Jeff, how about you?
Okay, I am a terrible athlete. Always have been.
That's why we're podcasters.
Played the outfield in first grade baseball. I was a decent goalie, but probably just because balls never made it to the goal on my team.
Mood.
I do really enjoy basketball. So you were a decent
goalie because the rest of your team was shit.
Yeah.
Or no, because the rest of your team was great if the balls never made it to your goal.
It was first grade. I mean, there might have been some pretty shitty offense. So you were a decent
goalie because you were in first grade and everybody fucking sucked.
Yeah. I don't think they ever crossed the center line. So our team must have been pretty good. Or just assholes carrying the ball with their hands. I don't remember. Oh, I did get kicked off once because a kid called me a fuckface, and I went up to the ref and was like, he called me a fuckface. So then I was out.
What?
So anyway, back to the subject at hand. Because it's a hand weapon. I have to rely on my quickness.
Do you know of feet weapons? I don't know of any
so
foot
to
weapons.
me, scimitar is like an analog for a basketball. Like the only way I can survive is with quickness, with tricksiness, because I'm old, right? So I don't have the spins and the hops and things. So I gotta like juke, Stockton style.
The you think I have spins and hops.
It's all about the eyes,
should
right?
Probably be in a wheelchair most of the time.
And my way to win is gonna be get inside the offense, fucking charge, drop to one side, and then cut them up groin to heart, as quickly as possible.
Yikes.
A scimitar can be very sharp, but also like it's light, so I can, I'm not fighting against a two-handed weapon. And it's similar to your spear idea, where if I hook them like around the neck
It's
or the
scimitar
arm,
to your spear idea.
I can grip it with both hands and then yank, and some flesh will come out. So that's pretty cool. That's about it.
All right, Aiden.
Good. What did I choose? A warhammer?
Yeah.
Yes.
A warhammer.
Okay.
Or just like a heavy shop hammer, whatever.
No, it's going to be a warhammer. It's going to have to be a warhammer, and I'm going to have to write a song about it.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Not too small.
Fuck. Okay.
Not too long. Just right in the comfort zone.
It's not about the length of
Are
the
we
weapon.
close?
It's about how you use it, Jeff.
That's why I chose a scimitar. Because I got to get inside those defenses.
Yeah,
I
Jeff.
can't block shit. I have to dodge, parry.
Jeff can't block shit, man.
Mm-mm.
Jeff can't block shit.
I
Are
get
you
my
kidding
ass
me?
handed to me.
Jeff can't fucking block shit. Oh my god. No way. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's Warhammer. Here's why I chose a Warhammer for my gladiator battles. Okay. I'm very afraid.
Do it.
That's way too intense. Way too, yeah. Maybe that's maybe too intense there. I'm just gonna drop that down a little bit. Okay. Maybe just a little, and then maybe a little bit less of that. Okay.
It's battle, or it's before battle.
It's battle.
Yeah, like on the podium before the battle. Somebody
the
asks
thing
for a
about
song.
The thing about a lot of gladiatorial combat is that they kind of just throw a pile of weapons down in the middle, and you have to just run in and choose what calls to you.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, but this is why I'm gonna choose the Warhammer when I run in and choose what calls to me.
Right, go.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to, but I couldn't hear Jeff because the internet was really bad, and I'm really anxious right now.
Hey, you got this.
I have a warhammer. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it to rip your armor apart. I'll rip your armor apart. I have a warhammer. And I'm gonna use it to rip your armor apart. I have big muscles with which to rip your armor apart with my warhammer. I'll rip your armor apart. Swing real hard.
He's gonna swing that hammer.
Swing it, and it's gonna gain a lot of velocity as it swings so far from me. It's gonna gain a lot of velocity being so far from the center of the force as it rotates down from above, tearing into your arms, and it forces your armor and your body apart.
He's
That's
gonna
why
swing that hammer.
Use a warhammer.
He's gonna swing that hammer, kill your heart.
I smell
That
a
was-
Grammy.
Just vibing.
That was Ballad of the Warhammer by
That was
Aiden.
beautiful.
Oh, was that good? Did that
From-
vibe? That was very like Lana Del Rey.
It was.
I dug it.
It was
I
like a
that.
traditional. It was like a spiritual. It was
I'm
great.
gonna be honest. I did not know your voice could do that, Aiden.
Me neither.
He's gonna swing that hammer.
My voice can do.
It sounded a lot like you know what it sounded like was like a. I hesitate to say this. It had the same vibes as like a black spiritual, like a slave spiritual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to
pierce
compare it to
your
that because we're
armor.
goofing, and those were like those are very important parts of the Black History movement. But like it had the same.
Well, I
kind of
also take
vibes.
music very seriously and study music a lot. Like I spend a lot of time listening to music and thinking
Yeah,
about
no, I
music.
do
So
too.
that part isn't a goof, and I understand that for you it's not either. So like for sure.
Yeah. you
Anyway,
weren't-
that's why
yeah,
I would
you weren't
choose a
doing-
Warhammer.
You weren't doing it to like make fun of them. I get that. It was just it had that vibe, and that was really cool.
I was
Oh,
getting
yeah.
a blues
Yeah, it was
vibe,
fun.
but without the jazz influence.
That's odd because like I
Interesting.
play a lot of jazz, but that's fun, interesting. It was hard to play jazz for that song. It just didn't feel right.
Ooh, it did. You know, you mentioned the
Um,
blues. It did remind me of who's the guy that recorded like 100 songs and like Robert Johnson is like one of the first blues men. When he would sing without the guitar, it kind of reminded me of that too. It's just got a groove,
Interesting.
a soul groove.
See, I think that was actually probably a lot of that was probably also from Supper Time from Little Shop of Horrors.
Interesting.
Just like the
supper time.
Your friendly Audrey too. Yeah. This plant is talking to you. Like it's like that's actually the song. So it sounds a lot like that, I guess. Probably. Which I didn't do on purpose, but I totally heard it. Anyway, can we have another idea to do? Because I'm vibing. I think we should
I
keep
just want
going.
to say I would love to see Bernie stick a warhammer in Trump's chest.
Oh yeah, that's what we have to do. We have more to do on this. So I forgot. We have
Oh, we
to
do?
we have to address that part.
Oh
Yeah,
right.
because-
okay. Are we just gonna talk about this the
because-
whole time?
Well, I not the whole time for sure, but we're gonna do.
We got to drill down into the
We're
details.
gonna do. You're gonna be Elizabeth Warren, right, G?
Yeah.
I'll be Donald Trump. Okay.
Listen here,
be
Trump.
Donald.
I am working on behalf of the people, and I will swing my scimitar, and you're just gonna have to accept it. You're a terrible leader, Mr. Trump. And I'm gonna cut you
George, who are
stem
you
to
gonna
stern. There you go.
I am
George, who are you gonna be?
I
What?
am Judge Judy endorsed Michael Bloomberg,
Oh Lord.
All right, George is gonna be
aka
Mike
the villain of the
Bloomberg.
Democratic Party.
I'm gonna be
Please
Donald
don't make
Trump.
me
Jeff
vote
is gonna
for Mike
be
Bloomberg.
The most
Please
boring
don't
villain
make
of
me
all
vote for
time.
Mike
G is-
Bloomberg.
G will be Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, I don't know what she sounds like, so I'm just gonna sound like me.
Yeah, that's
Just
what
sound
I
like
love
whatever you
Bloomberg.
need to sound like, man.
She's a pretty strong, vital woman.
Yeah, I get
Great
the feeling that
speaking
she's got
voice.
a really strong grip with her hands too.
Okay.
She used to be a Republican.
Listen
by the
up.
way.
What?
Elizabeth Warren was a
What?
Republican for a while.
I used to be a Republican
Fuck.
too. I was raised by my parents.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Whoa. Okay, let's try. Let's try
It's already
again.
meta
Let's
there.
try again. Let's try again from the top of the song.
Hell yeah.
Okay. It's time for me to pick my weapon.
This man cannot speak. He is terrible with words.
I want my secretary to fight for me in the ring. I want to fight with my staff. Next.
It was supposed to be a Warhammer. It was in the list that came out before the debate.
I want my
Warhammer.
staff. Next.
This is ridiculous.
I want my staff. Next.
I'm Mike Bloomberg. I am just going to buy my way into victory. Next.
Just what we need. Another out-of-touch billionaire who has failed his own constituents. I will split you stem to stern with my scimitar. That's a boating term, stem to
Next.
stern, I think.
His time is up. Next.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Warren. And I'm here to stab you all in the heart. Especially Mike Bloomberg.
Mike Bloomberg is quite unpleasant. I understand that. That makes perfect sense. Good job, Elizabeth.
I wouldn't even pay myself.
Why are you such a downer, Mr. Bloomberg?
All I have is money.
Why am I even here? My staff can handle the fight. I'm going to win anyway.
President Trump has interrupted Mr. Bloomberg, which, even though he is quite unpleasant, he deserves his time.
I'm gonna be real
Next.
honest. I actually didn't know anything about Elizabeth Warren.
That's okay.
So I looked her up, and turns out she
Okay.
literally had a private conversation, quote, with Mike Bloomberg. So I get the feeling that she does not like him very much.
Oh.
Hell
wow.
yeah.
Who do I have to
I
pay
see.
to get Warren away from me? Who do I have to bribe?
This is a straw man argument. Elizabeth
do I have
Warren
to
is
bribe
12 feet
to
away
get
from Mr. Bloomberg.
Elizabeth Warren out of this room.
I think a woman could be president. After me, after the people have chosen the right candidate, Elizabeth would be a perfect alternative in 8 years or so, unless I have a heart attack and die. And then you replace my vice president, who will probably be a cactus. I don't know. I wouldn't want anyone to shoot me, so nobody wants the cactus to be president. It's a whole policy. It's on my website.
I've seen your website. It's not that impressive. Where am I even supposed to put my thoughts when I'm on there at
You
3
don't
a.m.?
even know how to use a computer, Donald. You're a terrible president.
I know
You're
how to
terribly-
use a computer.
Terrible human being.
I know how to use a computer. Okay. I know how to use a computer. You wouldn't
You're an embarrassment
believe
to our
how
country.
much I know how to use a computer. I can really use a computer. You wouldn't believe how much I know how to use a computer. I can really use a computer. You wouldn't believe
I would rather hear Mr.
how much
Bloomberg
I know
than this strike.
how to use a computer. You really wouldn't believe. I know how to use a computer, so shut up and stop asking me if I
Mr.
know
Trump.
how to use a computer. I know how to use a computer. I promise that I know how to use a computer.
Someone
I
should give
know
Mr.
how to use a
Bloomberg the
computer.
machete, and we should get on with this already. Please, murder President Trump.
I own a PC and a Mac and a Linux and a PC and a Mac and a Linux, and I own a Linux and a PC and a Mac, and I know how to use a computer, and I know how to use a computer.
Finish a sentence.
Stop saying I don't know how to use a computer. Your time is up. I know how to use a computer. I know how to use a computer. Your time is up. I know how to use a computer. I say you're fired because I know how to use a computer. Fuck you. I know how to use a computer so I can be the president. Anyone who knows how to use a computer can be the president. It's not that hard to be the president.
Who is moderating this debate?
Use a computer.
I say let's pick up our weapons. We can all gang up, kill Trump
debate
first,
except
Royal
for me.
Rumble style.
I have the computer, and the computer moderates the debate.
And then if Elizabeth is okay with it, if Ms. Warren,
I am the highest law officer
we could
in the
gang
land,
up together
and
against
everyone
Mike
answers
Bloomberg,
to me,
which I
and
think would be
know
a
how to
fine
use
plan
a computer,
for the American people.
and I know what is right,
Mr.
and I know
Sanders,
who
if you
should
just pay me, I will
be in my
gladly
cabinet,
leave.
and I should be the president again,
would like
and
to
I
point out-
know how to use a computer, and I can use technology, so I can use a computer,
someone please
and
cut
I
his
can
mic.
lead the country. I can lead the country. I know how to use a
If
computer.
this goes on
you
much longer, we may
guys,
need an
okay?
armed revolution. I don't want to say that, but the people will rise.
I would like to point out that this is what you guys just did, interrupting each other like that, was and the how much it stressed me out. It's exactly how I feel about politics right now.
I feel like I did an accurate representation of Bloomberg because apparently he didn't really get much of a word out during the past debate.
Because he's a
so
douche nozzle. Nobody wants to listen to this asshole.
I think I'd rather listen to
Okay.
Nails on a Chalkboard than Bloomberg.
Honestly,
That's fair. That's fair.
him.
Why,
and,
George? Say
Pete-
more. Well,
Him and Pete
Booted
I want to hear
Jag.
more of George's.
are
Pete, no, it's
just
Pete Booty
Republicans
Juice
in
is
disguise.
correct.
Let's be real.
Oh, God. Pete Booty Juice. That's wonderful.
It's Maya Pete Booty Juice.
It's honestly, that's about as close as I can get to how it's pronounced for real, because I know it's not.
Isn't it like
pronounced
Buttigieg?
Buddy Geeg or whatever.
I think it's
I think it's-
Buttigieg, but
I
I
think
don't
it is.
know.
It's Buttigieg.
It's either Booty
Something like
Jedge or
that.
Booty Chedge.
Fuck him.
Last
He's an
week I was
asshole. Who
calling him
cares?
Booty Judge,
Ugh.
but I like Booty Juice better.
Booty Juice is good.
G
That's a
loves
fun
Booty
quote
Juice,
to isolate.
So, yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
Booty
You
Juice.
heard it here
is good.
first.
I think we answered that one pretty good. That's
Yeah, I think we did a good job.
Bernie
I agree.
Sanders
What
with his
else do we have
shirt
to
off
talk
and a
about?
scimitar. That's a look.
I have something to draw now.
Hell yeah.
Just go the Bloomberg route and just like hire a teenager to do it,
Oh, God.
like he did with his political memes.
Oof.
It's so sad. Trump did the same shit, though.
Wait, he had memes?
He had
Oh, yeah.
assholes paid to do shit. All the Republican right-wing types do that.
You think the Democrats don't?
Well, they do, but they don't have
Everyone's
as much
guilty.
money to spend. Or they have scruples
Yeah,
sometimes.
some of them. Well,
you know.
some of them, but some of them do though, and those aren't. And those. Some of them do. This is not.
Unfortunately,
a political
they're
show,
terrible
and none of us-
gladiators.
None of us knows. We're all very smart people, but I don't think any of us knows enough about politics to say that to comment on their advertising plans about what they're all doing and aren't all doing.
Yeah, but
I
we
feel
can
like maybe.
anyway.
That's true, but we should just at least preface it by saying that we don't know what we're talking about, and
That
then
we don't
should
know
just say
anything.
whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, that hasn't stopped Trump before, so why should it stop us?
Oh no.
Can we not say his name
George,
anymore? He
because
sucks.
if we're going to do superiority comedy where we're gonna punch up or rather punch down perhaps at people we think that we think have opinions that are perhaps incorrect or lesser than ours, then we should be.
But that's not how you put that.
Punching at. What do you no? But what I'm saying, Jeff, is that it is both, because it's punching up to punch at Republicans, but it's also superiority comedy because we believe that we are superior in making fun of them.
Oh, so it's like I hook their Achilles with my scimitar and then I punch down on the Trump face.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's more like
now,
I'm just saying,
I don't think I'm
like
superior to Republicans. I think I'm superior.
No. That's not what I'm. That's not what I'm.
Politicians in general.
No,
Because
again, and that's not what I'm
suck.
saying. I'm talking about superiority comedy, which is just like the idea that laughter is provoked when you look at someone who's doing something that you think is incorrect or lesser than. So like, not that we're laughing at Republicans for being Republicans, but if we're going to, my point is to what George said about if Trump is just going to say bullshit, then can't we just say bullshit? Well, sure we can, but if we're going to do superiority comedy about Trump, then when we say bullshit, we have to acknowledge that it's bullshit. That's all I'm saying.
I'm trying to do insult comedy.
That's yeah, but insult comedy, George, is not something that I'm a fan of. So I'm going to let you do insult comedy, and then I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk about what I think about insult comedy, because it's a podcast where we share ideas.
That's fair.
Hey,
I think insult comedy is fine. I think you're allowed
Can we move on
George.
to the next
George,
good
you
idea?
can do insult. We can in a second, but this is that idea.
This is a meeting.
That's
we
what
got to
this
take
is
this
right
meeting.
now. So, it's not. Well, that's what this show is. Is always a meeting. What is it not? Was it ever not a meeting?
I mean, we have had a consultant doing a PowerPoint this whole time, so it is technically.
Yeah, it's Remus.
Well, no, then I'm not talking about a business meeting. I'm saying like, it's George isn't wrong. We can just say bullshit. It's a comedy podcast. The point was just that it's insult comedy or it isn't insult comedy. But we can still talk about what it means to just say bullshit. Right? It's okay to just say bullshit. But
Yes,
you gotta
I
preface
agree.
it.
Yes.
So I think we can all agree politicians say bullshit. They should get their shirts off, put a skirt on, to get a short sword, and put a stop to it.
That's what I'm thinking.
I agree. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
But really, Bernie his hip would hurt and he'd bow out. So that'd suck.
Once again, I am asking for your financial support.
I'm going to be honest. If you don't want the presidency, that's the word. If you don't want the presidency bad enough to die for it in gladiatorial combat, then you don't want it bad enough.
That's the slogan once we introduce this new system. But it would just lead to a huge dudes. It'd be almost all like male, bodies. Like, I don't know the best way to put that, but like giant people who are mean. Like, is that really
if
who we
Bernie
should have?
Sanders wants the presidency, then he'll get fucking ripped.
He'll get swole.
That's all I'm saying.
Swole Bernie Sanders. Write that down.
That's all G's saying.
Swolney Sanders.
This one comes to us from Amanda Quain from the Bim Bambino podcasters page. Lawnmower robots. Will they fight a treehouse?
Lawnmower robots. Will they fight a treehouse? That's a good question. It's a very good question.
What kind of treehouse are we talking about?
Huh.
We have to
A
define
treehouse.
our terms here.
Right. Because like what you think of as a treehouse sits. I mean, what I think of as a treehouse doesn't touch the ground, and therefore a lawnmower robot would have to be able to fly in order to fight
Flying
it.
lawnmowers.
But that's the point. It's trying to cut everything. It wants to cut the treehouse.
A tree is just a large blade of grass, really, when you think about it.
A tree is just lawn mowing on hard mode.
Imagine the size of a flying robot lawnmower that could chop down a tree. Whew.
It's a UFO.
That's a sexy image right there.
This episode is really interesting, too, because it just sort of ends.